In this video, I'll show you the total liquid net worth that I've accumulated as a 25-year-old. And what I mean by liquid net worth is cash equivalent. So anything that is cash or can be easily converted into cash. That means I'm not going to count things like my car, a laptop, clothes, shoes, anything like that. It's going to be anything that's easily transferable into cash. I like these types of videos. I like when people get real transparent, real authentic with their finances. I think there should be more discussions around finance. I think it's only a detriment to those who don't talk about it. So I'm trying to be one of the people that kind of voice it out there, get people discussing, get people chatting, and get people just thinking about their money a little bit more often because it's only going to be beneficial. So with that being said, I'm trying to practice that, be more transparent with myself, and give you guys an update on my net worth and where I'm at the age of 25. I'll be breaking this down in order from the smallest accounts all the way to those big, juicy accounts. So if you want to see what's in those, you're going to have to wait a little bit longer. And at the end, I'll show you that grand total, that juicy number of my liquid net worth that I've accumulated by age 25. I'll also share 3 very important tips for money management and things that have really helped me get to the place that I am right now. Without further ado, let's get started. So this is a small portion of my portfolio. I like to have some exposure because I figure why not? I'm young enough to take the risk on, and I'd be happy to see something 10x, 20x, 100x if I'm lucky enough. But I feel like crypto is one of those few assets where you can see those astronomical returns. So I figure why not get some exposure to that? And my total in crypto right now is $4,580.11. And how that's broken up, the majority of that's going to be in Bitcoin. And then we're split a little bit with Ethereum and Solana. And finally, I have some throwaway money in XRP. Got the boys telling me to buy some, so figured I'd just chuck a little in there and see what happened. The next bucket we have is my 401k. And the total of our 401k right now is $5,106.94. So this would be a little bit larger, but because of where I'm at in my company, they have a, let's be honest, kind of crap program. You couldn't start getting invested until at least a year in there. And then their vesting period takes about 6 years total. I also got in at an awkward time, so I waited almost a year and a half before even getting started. So that number definitely could be higher, but because of the situation I was in, the company's vesting plan, it just kind of made it hard to get the real funds I wanted to in the account. So that's why we're sitting at only just above $5,000 there. The next account we're going to jump into is my cash. So this is my cash in my high yield savings account specifically. I'm not counting checking. I figure checking in my credit card accounts, they'll just cancel each other out. So this is my high yield savings account. And at this moment, my high yield savings account has $9,032.23. This is money that I'm going to be putting towards a house at one point. I know it's not very big right now, but not all of my house fund is in the high yield savings account. I tend to be a little more risky with my investments, so I do keep a pretty small amount of money in cash. Now we start to get into the juicier accounts. This is when things get a little bit more fun. And these are the numbers where I really like looking at them. So first off, we're going to go into my Webull individual taxed brokerage account. And this total is $35,739.95. So this is when I start getting proud of myself. I started this account in college, so about 2017. Putting money in it ever since consistently. And for a long time in my account, up to $10,000, I was actually in the red. So I wasn't getting any benefit from investing. At least it seemed like it at the time. I just felt like I was throwing my money away and just getting less and less in return. So my first $10,000 was just my own money, forcefully throwing at it in hopes that I'd be able to make a positive return at some point. Obviously, now things have turned around and I made some good money in that account, but that just shows you that you really got to be going all in investing and play the long game. I mean, seeing red day in and day out for your first $10,000 straight is pretty disheartening, I'm going to be honest. But seeing what came out on the other side after that really shows me the power of investing, staying long term, sticking to the plan, and then just really trusting what's going to happen with your investments. Next up, we have my Roth IRA. This is very, very close to my last account at $36,645.56. So we're doing pretty good in the Roth IRA. Gotta love this account. I do try to max it out almost every year, especially when I started getting the adult job, my big boy money. I really started pouring some money into that account, getting that $7,000 every year. So I'm really working hard on that, and I am on track to max it out this year as well. Now to the big boy account. This is one I've had for the longest amount of time, and it is my individual investment account through Charles Schwab. And this account total is at $51,394.47. So this one means a lot to me. Got over the 50,000 mark. I've been really working hard on this account for a long time. I had some big individual winners in this account. I've been invested in Google for a long time, been invested in Costco for a long time. And if you check out those charts, you can know that I've made just a little bit of money in both of those. And now, for the reason why all of you tuned into this video, it is time to tally up the total net worth that I've accumulated as a freshly turned 25-year-old. And that total is $142,499.26. Wow, just reading that number out loud feels pretty awesome, a little surreal, because I can remember the times when that net worth was under 100,000, when that net worth was under 50,000, when it was under 10,000. So to see how much it's grown over the past couple of years is honestly astonishing and really makes me feel proud of myself and everything that I've done. And with showing my net worth, showing these accounts, being transparent, this is not to brag. This is not to show off. This is to inspire. I know for me, seeing videos like this, watching people of similar age, even younger than me, reaching a higher status, this is something that motivates me. Whenever I feel like I'm getting bored of investing, seeing a video like this really does help me to get back on track. So I do hope this does for you guys as well. This is not supposed to be a comparison game. The only person that you should ever compare yourself to, as corny as this sounds, is to who you were the day before, to who you were the month before, the year before. That's really who you're fighting this journey against. If you're a better person than you were last year, then you're winning. And that's why I'm making this video. I want to continue making these transparent updates, check-ins on my net worth so that I can compare myself to where I was at a year ago, look back and feel accomplished at all the things that I've actually done. And one thing I do want to address is that I am lucky. I came in a two-parent household. They loved me very much. They both talked about money. It was something that was taught to me at a young age. I was lucky to be born in America. I was lucky to not have to worry about where my next meal was. I got to be forward thinking. I wasn't stuck being so short-sighted. And that's one of the biggest things about investing. You need to be able to look long term. You need to be able to visualize what's going to happen in 5, 10, 15, 20 years and see that's how your money is going to grow. By putting it in the market, being patient, and letting it compound. Not to say that I was super rich or super spoiled. I mean, I wish I was. And a lot of this money was hard work. But I do want to address that everyone comes from some place of privilege, and I am no exception. I've been very lucky in my life and the situation I've been brought up in. Finally, I do want to leave you guys with 3 really important tips that help me reach where I am at today. The first one is to just learn how to budget. You need to know exactly how much money is coming in and how much money is leaving your account. Your subscriptions that you're paying for, the food that you say you're not paying for but you are, the gas, those costs that you don't even think about. You need to understand exactly how much money you're spending and how much money you're actually keeping. That is how you know how much you can invest and how to build your wealth. The next tip is to pay yourself first. Whenever you get a paycheck, you are your first expense. You have to think about your investment, your retirement, your savings as an expense that you must pay before anything else. Before you go out to eat, before you try to buy some hot girl at a bar a drink, before you try to go on vacation, before any of that, you have to think of yourself as a priority. Pay yourself first. Whatever you have left over then goes to the fun stuff. And then finally, invest as early as you can. Time is really your greatest ally. The earlier you can put money in, the more money you're going to make. It's as simple as that. If you put $5 in when you're 20 versus $500 when you're 60, it's going to be a world of difference. Time is your biggest ally. Invest early and invest often. And if you're curious how I actually invest in my Roth and individual accounts, the breakdown is fairly even. I have about 50% of it in individual stocks and 50% of it in ETFs. If you guys want to know what exactly I invest in, then I can make a video about that later on. Yeah, so there it is. There's my net worth at 25, broken down by account. I hope the transparency has inspired you, has motivated you, and is going to push you guys to be better in your financial journey. Just know it never stops, and the earlier you start, the better off you're going to be. My name's Jack, and I love talking about this stuff.